Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Pastor Steve coming all the way from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's a good day, and I'm so excited that I can be able to come and talk to you. Now, today, I want to share with you an interview that I did some times back. In actual fact, it is out of this interval that my book, which is now almost getting out in the next few weeks, was birthed from. That is the book we're calling Give Yourself Another Chance. And therefore, I wanted to take the next few minutes. Remember, our program is always not very long. It's always brief to the point. Take a few minutes and just enjoy this interview. It was wonderful. You know, I just get to share about myself. I get to share how this thing came about. In fact, by the way, that when that interview was happening, really that whole concept of the book was really not there. But it's out of that interview that the whole thing was birthed. And I said, I need to put this thing down. It's just a short part of the interview. Enjoy yourself and have a wonderful rest of the day. I love you. I believe in you. And remember, let's always keep it simple, keep it real, to the point, and always anointed. After you finish watching that part of the video, please subscribe to my channel, share with somebody, and let me hear back from you. Remember, this is not a monologue. This is a dialogue, and I always love hearing from you. Anybody, all the people who have been talking to me, thank you, thank you, thank you, and God bless you. I love you, and see you later. Bye-bye. Not only did I get into that kind of a crisis in my personal individual life, but I also had other crises in my life. One of the major crises that I had again the same year when all these things were going wrong is my own sister, who is actually our last born kid sister, you know. The one you would least expect would be the one who would leave us or anything would happen. That very year she died after going through a very strange form of cancer. She got a cancer which was extremely strange because it was something that grew all over her body. She kind of developed cysts or swellings inside her flesh, you know. And at times we could not even understand her. Many a times I remember, because she was living with me, many a times she would tell me she's having problems with her legs, or she would tell me she's having issues with some of her limbs, and I sometimes couldn't understand. I just thought she was just fussing around, you know. Whenever I think about that, it brings in a lot of tears, because I remember my sister really went through a lot of pain. And the truth is, by the time she passed on in 2013, in the month of October, and then in the midst of the crisis that I was having and the problems that I had problems with my marriage, I had problems with my ministry. I had made choices that were not good at all, but anyway. And the same year, a man who had been doing very well, I got suspended from my work. I got fired. Yeah, that's not easy to say, but anyhow, I was in a place which the children of Israel were. I was at the end of it all. And when I looked ahead, I actually just saw darkness. I couldn't see light at all. And I remember before the end of that year, it was so bad. I locked myself in an apartment that I had somewhere, and I actually thought the end had actually come. I thought the end had come, and I said, okay, fine, if the end has come, that's it, I'm done. You know, the children of Israel, when they're in that state, they wept and they cried. The Bible says they complained to Moses, and they wanted to stone Moses. They turned against him. In other words, when you're in that kind of a situation, the truth is, many times people that time turn away from you. You know, when you're in that kind of a state, the very people you think are your close friends, they sometimes tend to run away from you. And some of them don't really run away because they hate you. It's just that they don't want to identify with whatever you are going through or whatever you have done. And they just want to watch you from far and just see what is going to come out. Later on, if they see things working out, well, fine, they'll be back. But if they don't, they are gone, you know. And that's something that I learned by the way, as a big lesson that time. And that's when I discovered we have friends and we have real friends. You know, there are people who will be with you in and out of season. There are people who will be with you sunshine and rain time. And there are people who will be with you because you are doing well. You better watch out. Anyway, the point that I want to bring across is that when I was in that place, I thought it was not going to work out. My sister died, buried her, And then after that, I was in the crisis I was in. But then ultimately, I thank God because the moment you discover, like the children of Israel, the Bible says when God looked at Moses, instead of him looking at him wailing and complaining and crying concerning where he was at and what was going on in his life, the Bible says Moses looked to God in tears and fear. But God looked at Moses and he asked him only one question: why are you crying? I mean, it's not that God could not feel it. It's not that God could not see the situation. It's not that God was not sympathetic with them. Of course, he knew there was a lot of fear in the camp and people were feeling like things had gone bad because God is a God who loves and God cares. But God told him, I want you to tell the children of Israel to move forward. In other words, I want you to focus ahead. Don't look back. It is true ahead there is a sea. It is true ahead looks like an impossible situation. Yes, across the sea you can see the promised land. Across the sea you can see what I need you to do. But there is a problem here. You need to cross over, and there is no bridge this big to make you cross over. And the Bible says that God told Moses, Moses, stretch your staff and hit the waters. And the amazing thing is that in a flash of a moment, for the first time, God created the hugest, biggest bridge that you can ever think about. Now, the beautiful thing about this bridge is that it was not over the waters, but it was under the waters. I see them walking there, and it was like an aquarium, a big walls of water. And the fish are coming all the way and they can't cross over. The fish are wondering, who are these people walking? I can see the sharks, I can see the starfish, I can see, you name it, the whales maybe, or whatever fish that is in that sea. They were just there. But they were able to cross over the bridge and they got to the place they needed to get to. A bridge moment is what everybody needs. And I want to help you understand that you can create your own bridge, because bridges, you don't wait until somebody does that for you. You have to do it yourself. If you're going to make a difference in life, you have to start by making a difference to yourself first. You have to deal with your issues first. You have to create a bridge for yourself. You have to be like the military. The military normally they don't wait for a bridge to be made by somebody else. When the military are in a process of moving towards somewhere and they come and meet a situation or a place where they cannot be able to cross over with your vehicles or cross over because either it's a river or it's a gully or it's whatever it is that is just making them not able to cross over, the military have a team that is dedicated specifically to building bridges. That is the team that comes into the place, and within a flash of a moment, they have a way they just make their own mobile bridges. That bridge is not there permanent. They will make a bridge, cross over, and then remove the bridge and continue with the journey. They have a way of doing it, and that's how they do it. They make their own bridges wherever they go. So a bridge is an important aspect of life. So when we talk about a bridge, what are we talking about? We are talking about basically something that removes you from an end and takes you to a beginning. Something that removes you from an end and takes you to a beginning. Now, a bridge begins with the letter B. That word bridge begins with the letter B. And what does the letter B stand for? The letter B stands from for the word belief. You start building your bridge by what you believe. Your belief system is key to you becoming or crossing over to the other end that is going to give you a new beginning. What you believe, how you behave, during that moment, believing that you're going to go through it, believing you're going to come out successfully, believing that you're going to have money more than enough, believing. Belief is a key factor to your success in as far as crossing over the bridge is concerned. And then honestly, and then after that. And therefore, I want you to bring yourself to a place of building your own bridge. Make your own bridge. Do not allow yourself to die on that end. It is time to cross over to the place of your beginning. It is time to decide, you know what? I will believe in myself. I'll believe in what I'm doing. I will be real with my situation right now. I'll not assume that I have more than I already have. I'll start from where I have. I am inspired. I am motivated. There is a starting up that is within me. I am telling you, I am going to be daring enough. You have to be like the military. They will be daring to build a bridge on anything. You are saying, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to do it. I know it has not been done. I will rise. Me, when after 2013, what I remember doing in the month of December, I rose up and I said, give me another 5 years and I'm going to rebuild myself, and I will rebuild myself in a big way. And I tell you the truth, since that time, I have done things. I was able to restore back our ministry. I was able to bring it back to form. Thank God, because God is a loving Father. He's not like man. He doesn't discard you because you messed up. No, 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 no. And then after that, ultimately, I left the ministry to my sons there. And then finally, I got myself to come into the US. And I'm in the US right now. What am I doing? I'm still soaring high. And I'm still going up and up and up. Why? Because I know that once you build your bridge, you believe in yourself and you believe in where you're going. You have become real to yourself. You don't become fake. You are real. You are real. You're real. That has always been my signature in all my videos. And let's keep it simple and let's keep it real. You have to know who you are, and that don't live a life that you are not. Live what you are already. I am inspired. Oh my God. And I'm telling you, there's nobody who is more inspired in this world right now like me. You know, I am daring. That's why I'm in this country right now. I've started from zero. I've started from wherever I am, and I'm building myself to something that is going to be amazing. You watch out. Watch out on this page. And then on top of that, not only that, but I've also become God conscious, because you have to be conscious of God. You have to be spiritually sound. Spirituality in your life is key, because it is out of spirituality that you get peace, you get joy, you get hope. You realize there is somewhere you're going. When you have a spiritual connection, you can be sure your life is not the same. It is out of that. And then finally, I have become honest. You have to be sincere with where you're going. You have to be sincere in what you're doing. You have to be honest. Honestness in whatever you're doing is a key factor in as far as building bridges is concerned. I cannot overemphasize on that. Honestness is a key factor in as far as building bridges is concerned. You have to be honest. 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 Honest is a key factor, and you cannot overlook it. You cannot ignore it. You cannot assume it is not. Some of you are wondering, what is that? Now, being honest, because basically it begins with you being sincere to yourself before you are sincere to anyone else. Knowing yourself first, and knowing you can only do you first before you can do anyone else. This means remaining sober minded at all times, having depth in whatever you're doing and firmness in all that you do, but above all, having purpose and pursuing your purpose no matter what it takes. It's important to note that we are all here on earth with an assignment, and it's only you and it's only me, it's only we who can fulfill the assignment. Know it and do it, because you are the only one who can do it.